Okay. Okay, so the CloudFront, what is it is? It is a content delivery network. Is a system of distributed servers that deliver web pages and other web content. So other web content in the websites or web applications, whatever we are seeing, right? The content could be anything like your text files. If your website is specifically designed for only text content, or think about Netflix or any kind of other things, they are designed for the video content, right? Video content or anything, any website which they will be uploading only images and all. So those web content, okay, to based on the geographical location of the user, so deliver the web pages and web content to a user based on the geographic locations of the user. So what it says, the CloudFront can be used to deliver the entire. Let me share my screen. You can see CloudFront can be used to deliver your entire website, including dynamic, static streaming, and interactive content using global network of edge location. So we saw in the last class what is this edge locations and how it can be used to stream or deliver your content faster. Okay, so if you see our last session in the diagram, right, the edge location, the server, whatever is see in the image, it is the origin where we are going to fetch the record, fetch the content or web content. Okay, here is our main server, our applications or web applications is hosted. But suppose this is in Latin America, it is there, and we are connecting from other countries from different locations. Okay, so connecting to the Latin America from this server is normally it takes huge amount of time to get. And so if you see 10 years or 15 years before, right, while we are watching a video on the internet, the buffering time was too heavy, right? It will be buffered, then you will be watching the video because the content whatever we are getting from the server was that time extremely slow. What happened after that? The CDN, the content delivery network, which actually came into picture and solved the issue. So here AWS, what it does, it just provides the edge location which acts as a content delivery network for for the content delivery. Okay, now this edge location is a group of locations. Like suppose we if we talk about only India. In India, suppose our region is in Mumbai locations, right? But in every cities will have different edge locations of AWS. So this edge location nothing but your physical data center. It is not like a very big, huge data center which will be having everything. No, it will be having small servers which will be used for delivering the content. Okay, so the next, what is the key point? That is the edge location. This is a location where content will be cached. It is separate from the, remember guys, so this is separate from AWS region and availability zone, so it is not related to them now. So one second. Okay, now origin, what I was talking about, it is the all files that CDN will distribute. That is the origin. This can be S3 bucket, EC2, Elastic Load Balancer, Route 53 and all. So let's do the exercise and make this S3 bucket as our origin. Okay, so how we can do it? Just log into your, oh no. Okay, just log into your AWS management console. What is this? Valid invalid request. Okay, so where we'll get this cloud front? We can just go to your services. Okay, and here in these service sections, right, you'll find one CDN, content networking and content delivery, right? Networking and content delivery. So we have VPC, CloudFront, Route 53, and all this way. So we are learning CloudFront for the networking section. We are learning CloudFront. We have Route 53 and VPC, which will take around 4 to 5 classes. Only this Route 53 and VPC alone. Okay, and we'll do a final project on AWS when we launch this VPC. Okay, so VPC is nothing but our own network space. We'll create our own network and then we'll put everything, whatever the services we launch, we'll put everything into there and we'll just do the small project on that. Okay, once we cover both Route 53 and VPC. So let's go with CloudFront. Okay, so what we are going to do it here, and okay, so what you can see here, we have I have already few distributions here. Okay, let me just remove these old distributions. um okay, delete it. So this one, see, remember, you cannot delete if it is enabled. First you have to disable it and then you can. What is happening? Okay, it's taking some time to load. Okay, let it be there. We'll delete later this one. So what we have to do now, we can directly go ahead and you have to create a distributions. So this CDN works, the CloudFront or content delivery network works on the distributed with distribution. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a web distribution to see how the content we can fetch very quickly than the before. Okay, so just go ahead and create distribution, and here, so you have to give the origin domain. Okay, enter your origins domain name. Just give suppose what I'm going to do, I have to select the origin. Before that, let me see what content we are going to make the origin. So just go to the your S3. Okay, and S3 I have suppose 4 or 5 buckets, right? We have 4 or 5 buckets here. So I have 5 buckets here. Okay, one replica also there. Last class we had created it, so that's okay. Suppose I want to make this DevOps weekend batch demo bucket to my CloudFront origin. Okay, so what I have to do here, if we click on this origin domain, you'll find list of the buckets. Okay, so the bucket name, suppose I'm going to use DevOps weekend batch demo. Selected it, and the origin path. What is this origin path? What it says, enter a URL path to append the origin domain name for the origin request. Okay, and this is, you can see, it is optional. Either you can provide it or you can ignore it. Remember, if you have a, suppose in this case, if I have a folder here, right? So bucket, in this bucket I have only content, I don't have any subfolder. If you have any subfolder, then you can mention this into this path, because we are going to give this path. Let me give you a small example here. If I go to my other bucket, where I have some folder, suppose this bucket I have a subfolder here. Okay, now I want to access this object. So what I have to give, I have to give this target as the origin path. Okay, target, I have to give this target. Okay, as I am going to use this demo batch and it does not have anything, so I can just remove. Only thing you just remember, if your objects are in a subfolder in the bucket, you can provide that folder name or the entire path. you will be seeing, right, your project file will be there in multiple subfolders. Then you have to specify that path here. Okay, that's simple. Now so this is the name, that is fine. And what it says, S3 bucket access, don't use bucket, must allow public access. Okay, yes, bucket can restrict access only to crowdfund. So let me give allow the public access. Okay, so what it says, use a CloudFront origin access identity to access the S3 bucket. So what it says, don't use OI bucket. Bucket must allow the public access. So I'm just going to use this one. Now the enable origin cells is not required. There will be charged extra, I think, if you apply all other savings. Okay, and additional settings. So here in the additional settings you can find it, the connection attempts, connection timeout, and all, right. So connection attempts is the number of times that CloudFront attempts to connect to the origin, from 1 to 3. The default is 3. So it will try 3 times to the connect. Suppose when a user is trying to view some content, get some content, what happens, it will just get the content from the origin, right. Where it will get, it will get the origin, because initially edge location will not have any content. The edge location, when the user clicks the content, it will get it from the origin, right. So it will attempt for 3 times. If it goes beyond that, it will throw error, like it will just timed out, right. So connection timeout also, it is given in seconds. It will try it 3 times and then it will give the connection timer, the number of seconds that CloudFront waits for a response from the origin. If within 10 seconds, if it did not get any response, it will get timeout. Okay, that's the simple thing. And the default cache behavior, as we know, as we learned, right, CloudFront is nothing but is a cache techniques, right. Whatever the contents we are going to fetch, it will be cached to your nearest edge location. That's why we are fetching the records and viewing the records faster, right. So the caching mechanism or behavior, you can set it up here. So as I'm going to use the web content, and here I have set up as HTTP and HTTPS, okay, as the protocol policy. And this is okay. And restrict viewer access. If you restrict viewer access, viewer must also use CloudFront signed URL or signed cookies to access your content. So I'm not going to restrict, because I'm going to show you the content. And if this is the cache policy, whatever the policy you have in your organization, you can do the policy setup over here. Okay, that's all. On the function association is not required. The settings, use edge location best performance, we are going to use edge, all edge locations. Okay, and here is the price classes. So choose the price class associated with the maximum price that you want to pay. One thing, guys, remember, once you cache something, and if you remove that cache, you have to pay for that. Okay, that's very important to remember. Once you cache, that is fine, you are going to use that one, but if you remove that, you have to pay for that. Okay, so that's why here the price class they have decided. Use if you are going to use only for North America or Europe, then you have to choose this one. And if for Asia, Middle East, and everything, you can do. And for best and better performance, you can use the all edge locations. Okay, so immediately after creating this, I will remove the CDN part. Okay, now and this is optional thing, you can give it. And this SSL certificate, if your organization have SSL certificate, if you want to make it more secure, then you can give the certificate here. It is optional again. Okay, and standard logging, and this is login, and IPv6 is on, right. So descriptions, you can give it descriptions, or you can just leave it. So create distribution. Okay, now we created the distributions. But one thing, guys, what we did, we created the distributions of the bucket. Which bucket? We got this uh, sorry, we go emergency, and this demo bucket. We created this demo bucket is our origin, right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how we can get the content using the CloudFront. Okay, now our content is in origin. The origin is our S3 bucket, and we are going to get the content from the origin. So how we have to do, you can see in these tabs, right? We have few tabs like calls origins. Just click it here and you'll find the origin name. This is the origin name and this is the origin domain, everything, right? And behaviors, everything you can find it out, whatever the behaviors, whatever we did, the setups and all. So geographical restrictions, we don't have anything because we allowed for all available edge locations. Okay, and invalidations, we don't have any validations kind of things we set up. We leave it as default. Okay, tags, you know what is the tags, you have to provide it. We don't have any tags given. Now how we'll connect and get the content. So you can see here the distribution domain name. Okay, and here you can find it out, all the information, setting informations about. And here last method is called as deploying. So let me go here distributions and we'll see it is then enabled. It is enabled. Okay, now so the previous one I can delete it. Now we can see once I click I get the delete option. The previous one, let's delete it. Okay, now our new content CDN is active, is enabled. How I'll get it, just go ahead here, click it, go to the origin, or you can get the origin domain here also itself, or you can go to here and get the origin domain, origin name from here. So I am going to get the distribution domain name, cloudfront.net. Okay, now go here, paste it here. Okay, suppose the content name is currency1.png. See how I access this one, I access through the CloudFront. See CloudFront. This is my domain name. Now I don't have to provide any bucket name or anything. It's just I provided the CloudFront CDN delivery, that uh, endpoint name, right? So if you go here, you can say the distribution domain name. This is the distribution domain name of this CloudFront. Okay, using this we can easily connect it. So how, this is what I showed you in the HTTP, like in the browser. I just got the CloudFront name and gave the object name and I got it. But how we can put this one in our programming? So you can directly use this link, this distribution domain name, or you can directly use this ARN in your API or SDK while developing the project. Okay, so guys, it's clear how we can set up the origin and how we can get our content fetched or viewed from the internet. Okay, so this way we can get it.
So origin path, can you what exactly we need to provide origin path?
Sorry, I did not get you, Tanmay.
Yeah, while creating the distribution, we have provided some origin path,
Yes.
some optional value was there.
Yeah.
So actually, how used? I mean, that's optional. I'm not sure about that. Can you please explain again?
Which optional? Okay, okay. So while setting up the
Origin. Yeah, while you are creating that
uh
cloud, yes,
this
here origin path, second option.
this
After
one.
yes,
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Sure. So this origin path, whatever is given here, right? So what it says, enter a URL path to append to the origin name of your origin request. So what is the origin domain name? The origin domain name, whatever the domain name, you choose it here, right? Suppose if you see here, currency1.png, here is the object is directly in the, if you see the bucket name currency1, if you see here the currency actually is in the bucket directly. We don't have any subfolder. So let me create one folder here. I'll show you one more example here. So suppose folder name, I'll give as CDN demo. The folder name I created CDN demo. So just create a folder. I created a folder CDN demo and I'm going to upload a file over here. Okay, let's upload any kind of file. A file I just uploaded one. Okay, now what I did, I just uploaded one file, and that file is actually in the CDN demo folder. Okay, CDN demo folder. So if you want to access this file, if I just give this docker-container.png here, docker-container.png, what will happen? It will say access denied, or it will not find the file because the file is in a subfolder. Okay, so let me try with the directory then here. So directory name is cdn demo enter. See what happens here. We have to explicitly provide this in the browser URL, then we are getting the image. But to do that in the cloud front, what we have to do, we don't have to specify everything here. Let's just close this one. And what we are going to, let me modify the cloud front and provide the origin path now. Okay, and let's see what is happening. So let's do this, and I'm going to give the origin, and here origin path, right? So let me just edit it, cancel, edit it. Okay. So I'm going to edit the origin path. Guys, I'm getting a call. Just 1 second. Yeah, sorry guys. So let me just edit this one, and I'll provide the origin path as this. Okay. So how I have to do? I have to just give the origin domain name as CDN demo. Okay, I gave a CDN demo. So let's just save it. Okay, save the changes. what it says. Okay, so we have to give slash origin path cdn. Okay, we have to give this path cdn demo. Now if I go to here origin and this is general. Okay, and if I go here content delivery, just put it here, and this time I'm giving directly docker container.png. See, did you notice this changes? I don't have to provide explicitly the folder here, the content, the host name with the file. Whenever I click the host name, it automatically gives me the picture. Okay, so now you understood what is the use of the origin path, right?
Yes, yes, it's clear.
The origin path actually normally here, suppose I'm showing you the example of putting one file. Your origin path could be your entire application folder, your entire project folder, and that will have hundreds of files inside that origin path, hundreds of content, hundreds of videos, hundreds of images, everything will be there. So you have to specify which path you want to be make is your distributions. Okay, so guys, this is clear, and if you have any doubt, we can just discuss for few minutes, or else we'll move into the command line interface, which is to automate the stuffs using the command line interface, that's AWS CLI. So we don't have to use.
Ranjit,
Yes, yes.
in origin path in the directory
Hmm.
is you are telling like okay, it's like a n number of files are there. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so while you are clicking that link, so
Hmm.
how we can be read it like this? No, it will be confused, right? Which file it goes to be open.
Exactly.
So where exactly you are going to?
Exactly. That is very good questions actually. So guys, here if that folder, as I told, that will be multiple hundreds of files, hundreds of images, hundreds of videos, then how particularly you know that which video you want to find it out? Here I just put only one image, that's why I know the image name and put it here and displayed, right? So that it displayed me. But how we can get all these videos? The thing is, we are not going to use this in the web browser or anything like this. Is what we are not going to use it. What we are going to do, we are going to use all this in our application, in our
Application.
programs, right? So in your programs you
Application
have to
also.
write the path, you have to write. So when you are clicking one website, you'll be clicking one image, you'll be clicking on the video, right? When you click on the video, in the back end, the code will be written in this way. They will be given the entire path of this domain name with the video link. So when you clicking that one, you will get the video faster. You got my point, right? You don't have to
So you mean like each
No,
okay for each
actually, it won't be like this that we are going to put this path. This path will be called inside the program. So
exactly.
the application who developed, he has to put this particular path based on what is the content is there. Means
Yeah.
you have in your web page, you have all this content name where you click it. That click will create a event where this path will be redirected. Nobody will call this whole path itself.
Yeah, so you don't have to explicitly copy and paste it in the browser and get the content. The content will be getted by the mouse click only, and that will be done by the developer. Whoever developing the application, he has to get this CDN path and put in the code. And when you click, let me just give one small example here. Suppose if I go to my, um, one second. Suppose if I go here, suppose I have few videos here. Okay, I have few videos here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I provide in the backend, right? The code, whatever is written here, I can just put this video. I can put this video on the origin path of the bucket. Suppose in this bucket I put the video, and I got this domain name. I got this origin name and put in my code. And when you click this video, it will get directly from the CTL. You got the point, right? It will be
Yes,
entirely
yes,
written
yes.
in the code. You don't have to do it manually, copy paste in the browser and get the content. Again, the content will be
So
it's totally event.
each of the content
Yes, exactly.
each of the content will be coded inside
Yes,
that directory, or so that that
exactly.
will be we click that thing to it, automatically it will be open, right? That
Yes,
is the concept.
yes. That's actually the entirely based on the developers and other applications, how you are using the applications and how you design the applications for the customer. Okay, you have to specify the link. So think about this is the entirely the backend commands you have to provide it. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So that's all, guys, about this content CDN and all. So
Uh,
what we can,
Ranjit, I have small doubt.
yeah, yeah, please.
Uh, actually, we have mentioned the origin as our S3 bucket,
Hmm.
and we have mentioned if it is a folder means we are mentioning the folder, and if we click that distribution domain name, it is redirected into that folder or image, and
Yes.
because already we have all the objects in the S3,
Hmm.
but why again we are going to CloudFront? Because if we give that S3 object here also we can see that videos or images, whatever it is,
Yeah.
content of that S3 bucket.
Yeah.
But again, why we are going CloudFront?
Okay. So
Small
guys,
doubt.
yeah, that's a good question. Okay. So guys, anybody can answer his questions. I hope.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Siba, please.
When you are putting in S3 bucket, you're putting a particular location. But what CloudFront is doing, if you have multiple user across locations, suppose you are using a portal where you are giving the video content, okay, having size of view size. Okay. Suppose even I have a S3. S3 is just a location where I'm keeping the data. Means
I think I'm
it
getting
giving
some background noise. Some background
no,
noise.
I think somebody has okay. So what will happen when I'm doing a S3, I'm creating simply the same content to be put in place. Okay, means some certain content to be put in place. But CloudFront, what is happening? It is making the access to the end user faster. If it is a S3, then it will be in a particular location. But CloudFront, what it will do, it will like a cached memory of those content for a faster access across location. So I am not sure whether my user will be only the location where S3 is located. My end user can be in any continent, any location. So suppose you have Amazon Prime where you are seeing the video. So if it is only hosted in USA, OE or some location, then from Indian user, if he access the a high bandwidth means high quality HD quality video, then it will be very slow. Okay, so they will have a local means captured version here itself in Mumbai, same like for Singapore or nearest region. So it will be more faster. That's why only we are using the CloudFront to make the access of huge content very fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you,
They
Siva.
don't
Nicely
only in
explained.
Mumbai, but all other cities.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Your question.
We
Okay. Okay. So fine. So Venkat, whatever Siva is explained, that's absolutely correct. And the thing is, let me just tell you one thing. Your point was like when you have when we have the S3 bucket and we have the videos in the S3 buckets, why we need the cloud front, right? Because the same thing we can use the S3 and just connect that link and get the videos or images. But why again we need the cloud front? So Siva actually well explained, but let me tell you one thing. So this S3 bucket, suppose I shared my this video to suppose Ajit Bhai is he is from USA, okay, and if he will try to upload or sorry he will try to view the video whatever the content I just put it from the in the S3 bucket. So it will take, because the S3 is in Mumbai region, right? So it will take lots of time, or a few minutes or few hours of time to buffer and get the video. So it will be little bit slow, right? Little bit slow. But if I the same thing, if I put in the content delivery network in the cloud front, and I'll share the link of the video to Ajit Bhai, what he'll do, he'll just click on that one and get the video faster than S3 bucket. That will be faster. So this is actually, we are talking about the edge location to cache the videos or images nearest locations to you. Okay, that's the main purpose to use. So if you see this diagram, right? So here the origin is, I made it the origin as S3. I made the origin, right? So here I put all the content, and our CDN and CloudFront is here. You got my point, right? All the origins, whatever the content and objects are in this origin, will be cached to all of available edge locations. So whenever this user will click that video or image, it will get faster. Okay, so that's the reason I just showed you. This is an example. We can make the EC2 as our origin also. One server, EC2, we can make our server and put all the information there, applications, and we can make that also as an origin. Okay.
Yeah, got it, Ranjit.
Okay, thank you. So guys, let's start to the AWS. Let me delete this first because it will be keeping some putting some charges over there. So let me delete where it is, CloudFront here, general. How to delete this? Go to distributions.
Rajit, in the ads location, yeah, I mean, we have a ad, in ads location, we have a read and write, means, in server, if you want to be modify or something, add something, means we can do it, right?
Yes, yes.
So, so same thing will be same thing will be reflected in that origin also, means something we are going to be change it in the ads location. Is it will be updated in the origin as well also, right?
No, no, no. That will be only to your
Look,
edge location, nearest location. That will be
Okay,
because
okay.
that you are updating in the cast information. The cast informations, once you close it or once you delete it, it will be deleted. It will not be permanently written. That is for temporary basis. It is for temporary basis.
Okay.
Yeah, guys. So how we can do it? I can just go ahead and disable this one. Okay, just disable it. And once it is disabled, you can see here last modifying is deployed, and once it's deploying finished, then it will be, we can find it out and you can delete it. Okay, so always do one thing, whatever lab you are doing, just delete it, because otherwise you'll get charged. Okay, in your monthly bill cycle, you'll get the bills, few hundreds of rupees will get it. Okay, so don't keep it open now. Yeah, any questions, guys? Okay.
Chargeable with hourly basis, or how it will be the charge?
Everything is actually hourly basis. The thing is, whatever you use, you have to pay hourly basis only. Okay, and here actually, the few services actually hourly basis, and few services are the like what you say, that IOPS basis, input output, the number of times you hit the server, the number of times you use the server, you have to pay for that. Like our S3 bucket, right? So S3 bucket is up to only 5 GB free. If you use 6 GB, 1 GB you have to pay. So they are charging extra 1 GB, not hourly basis. You have to pay extra 1 GB. So you have to understand what kind of service it is and what kind of way they are charging it. So here what happened, here suppose I created the CDN and the cloud front. So here they cannot charge based on the hourly, they cannot charge based on the sizes and all. So how they'll charge, based on the time the CDN, the cloud, the domain hit by the user, because that is going to be cached the informations in the edge location. That is what you have to pay for that. not hourly basis, nothing. Okay, so S3 also, what happens, the number of times the data transfers, right? The data, because you are viewing the videos and you're downloading the videos, this upload, download and data transfers, they are also charging for that. They are also charging for that. You have to be careful. Okay, so whatever you're doing, you should just understand and delete it immediately. So at least you have to pay less amount of fees even though they charge. Okay, so let me refresh. Okay, now I can see here last modified this, and I can see the delete icon here. Now delete it. Good, so deleted. Today we'll learn about AWS CLI. Okay, AWS command line interface. Access AWS services from your terminal. So we don't have to use AWS management console to work with any services. We can directly use from our command line, like from our terminal, from your Windows terminal, from CMD, from Linux terminal, from anywhere. You just type the command and access your services in the AWS in a very easy way. I'll show you what, and let's first discuss about what is the benefits and all, what is this CLI and these things details. Okay, now what is the CLI? The CLI is a unified tool to manage your AWS services from a terminal session. It is actually a tool designed by the AWS to use their to access and use their services from the command line. Okay, and what it says, allowing you to control and configure multiple AWS services and implement a level of automations. So how we'll do the automations, like whatever things we learned so far, everything we did it through the web browser, okay, through the console. But that is not the things when it comes to the automations, right? Whenever we are going to do the automations, we cannot use the console to automate anything. What we need, we have to write the program, we have to write the code to automate some stuff, right? For that we are going to use the AWS CLI tool to automate the entirely AWS services. Now with this tool, you can control multiple AWS services from the command line and automate them through the scripts, right? So we can write any shell script. I'll show you the automation script, one of the script also, where I have written few codes and use the AWS CLI to fetch the records and use the services. Okay, so that is what about the AWS CLI. There is nothing much, but the next slide I have given some installation, downloading and installation stops. Okay, so don't follow this. Whatever I have prepared, actually there might be old one, right? So how we can do it easily? So let me show you. There is a very good documentation from AWS. Okay, and if I go to the AWS, I will find AWS CLI. Okay, so here AWS CLI details available. Okay, what they provide, they provides for Linux, they provide from Windows, okay, and they provide from Mac machines, everything. This tool is available for everything. And the way, actually they have version 2.1 currently. The current version is 2.1, and the previous was 1. Okay, and you can see here, let's go and find it out how to install first. Okay, you have to install this, install and configuration, that is very important. Okay, so what you have to do first, suppose I'm going to do the client CLI version 2, right? Just click on this and you will find the installation instructions for Docker, for Linux, for Mac OS, for Windows. Suppose you are going for Linux, let me show you. Suppose I'm going for Linux, and here you'll find it out, the how we can. So the prerequisites are there, so that's okay. And it's, see, simply you have to just download the installation file, installer file first. Okay, download the installer file, and then you can just, and also here they have given, this is the latest one, this is the latest one you are going to use. If you want to for specific version of the file, you can just give the specific version of the file in this way and you can install it. Okay, so That's the very easiest way to do that. And other way, actually they have given lots of different ways to do it, lots of ways to do it. See, AWS versions. So guys, let me just ping you this link, and I believe you guys have to install this one, and I'm not going to show you how to install that one. Then you, why I'm not going to show you, because if you do this installation, you'll come to know lots of things by yourself, and lots of options you'll find it out. Until unless you get some errors while installing, and you'll troubleshooting, you'll not get mastered into that. Okay, I, this is a task for you. You install it. I'm not going to, because it's very straightforward. Everything is given here. I just copy paste in your terminal. Try to install it. You may face some issues. Try to fix it. If not, then we'll see in our next class how we can do that one. Okay. So this is the installation part, and let me ping you this in the chat, guys. Just make it keep copy it, and make a favorite link in your browser. Okay, save it in your browser so that you can use it. Okay, just copy everyone this link. Now once it is done, okay, installation, what we have to do, we have to configure our AWS CLI. We have to configure our AWS CLI. So here everything, all steps are given here. See, and let me show you in my terminal what is there. Okay, so this terminal is nothing but my own laptop. Okay, my laptop, this is my laptop. Okay, um, and I have not connected to any Linux server or anything. Okay, suppose if I do here, check this AWS versions, which versions I have. So once you install the AWS CLI, you will get the command. Actually the command name is AWS. We have to use the entirely AWS commands to fetch and view the services. Okay, so if I hit enter here, the AWS CI. Okay, so see, my, I have actually the old version of the AWS CLI. This is 1.16. The latest is 2.x, right? 2 point is coming, but I have the old one itself. And remember guys, this AWS CLI is entirely dependent on Python and Botocore. Okay, Python and Botocore, these two actually you have to install. So if you see here, the Botocore will be there. See, okay, you have to install the entire package, and there you'll find some details of those extra things which is required to be installed. Okay, I think it's not here. It will be there in this AWS CLI zip file. Okay, while you install, it will automatically install for you. Now so once it is installed, and you can see the versions, everything, all these commands, and if you want to uninstall also, you can see the uninstallation things. Okay, and the uninstallation is very simple. And if I see where I have actually so WHICH, which AWS, so I have the AWS in the win folder, right? So if you want to uninstall, just delete this one. That's simple. That is what they have given it here. Just remove it. Okay, so that's very good and very clear about this. Let's move on to the configurations of the CLI. Okay, so how we can configure the CLI. I don't want to show in this way to do. I'll show you the easiest way how we can configure the AWS CLI. Okay, now the first thing what we have to do, we have our AWS installed in our laptop. Okay, then how you want to, how you will configure this to connect. So in my laptop does not know which account I have and which account I need to connect. So those things you have to configure in locally in your laptop, then only you can connect to the account. So how we'll connect and how we configure it? First, what we have to do, we have to create one user in our account. Okay, so let's go to the, so how guys, can anybody tell how I can create one user, which service I should use? Quick, it's okay.
IAM user.
Yes,
IAM user.
exactly. So I have to go to the IAM service, and I have to create one user. Okay, so IAM management here, let me create one user. So I have already 3 users here. So let me create one more user. Suppose username I give AWS. I saw it. Okay, sorry. AWS CLI demo. AWS CLI demo. This username is AWS CLI demo. I gave, and I need programmatic access only. Remember this access label. I don't want this guy to give management console access. He cannot log into the management console because I'm not because I want this is a developer. This guy is a developer and he does not require to access this console. Okay, now what I need, just give a permissions label, so I can use the existing group. Suppose I want this guy to give administrator access so that he can access all the services across all the services in the AWS account. Okay, just give, and next tag, give a name to that. So value, just give it as Mr. AWS, anything, or I can see AWS CLI automation. Got it? Then create user. So here the important thing is you have to download the CSV and keep it handy, because we need the access key and the secret key to log in and configure the command line interface. Okay, let me just download this. I just downloaded it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let it be downloaded, but as I have all this access key ID and secret key over here, so I can copy directly from here. Copied. So you have to go here. Then how to configure this? It is very simple. Just type AWS configure. This is the command, AWS configure. Okay, hit enter. First it will ask for the access key ID. So I got the access key ID. This is the access key ID of this user. I give it, right? Just give it, hit enter, and the secret key. So I can just copy the secret key here, get the secret key and paste it here. I got the secret key, right? Hit enter. Now the default region, if you want to specify any region, you can specify, but I want this default region is up south -1. Okay, so just hit enter, and output format, different output format like JSON file, text format, or anything. The default format is actually JSON format. Okay, so I want this JSON format to view my output, so let it be default. Good. So now AWS is configured successfully. What we can do, if I want to see any, suppose let me start with one S3 service. Okay, S3 service. So there is small command is called to so suppose if you want to view the bucket information, so what you have to do, you have to log into the console and go to the list of the buckets and view there, right? But here without going to the console, I can view it like, see, just type the AWS S3. I'm going to use the service as S3, and the command is actually ls, simple Linux commands. You are going to use it here, AWS S3 ls. So what it will do, it will list out me the buckets whatever there in the account. See, all these buckets are there in my AWS account. It's giving everything. Okay, now if you want to display what is there inside this bucket, what you can do, you can simply do ls and just give this bucket. See, we can find it out, what are the informations, whatever the content or objects there in the bucket, what are the objects are there in the bucket, we can find it out. So you'll be wondering, right, how would we'll know all the options and commands of AWS? So there is a very good documentation as well. So you have to just go here and Wait, yeah. So you can see here using the CLI with AWS services, you can just go here, AWS, suppose S3. Okay, I can just go to the S3 and you'll find the, suppose using the S3 high level commands. Let me get it. See what you do, you can create a bucket using the command, list a bucket using the commands, delete bucket, delete object, move object, copy object, sync object, all these things you can do it. Here is the command. To create a bucket, you can use AWS S3 MB, okay, MB and target and options. Here is some examples. You can create the bucket name. So let me show you small examples to create a bucket. AWS. So remember how to use. So all the commands and options you can guys get it. I'll give you the link. I'll share with you all the commands. You can do it. But you should know how to use these commands. Okay, the first thing is, first command is AWS. This is the base command, and that options you have to pass is the which service you are going to use. Suppose you are going to use S3, then you give S3, and suppose I'm going to use EC2, I can use EC2, or I'm going to use IAM, I can use IAM. Okay, so let me show you one from EC2. If I go for EC2, and what, how you have to use these documentations, go for Amazon EC2 here. Okay, Amazon EC2. So okay, what it says, suppose creating and displaying key pair, something is there, right? So suppose I want to display something. Okay, so this is actually not a good documentations. I have another link which have all the services. So here you can find only DynamoDB, EC2, IAM and S3, but there is a very good other documentations where you can find all the command references I have. Okay, so here is the command references. So this document, let me ping you. See this AWS command, all the services, whatever the services being provided by the AWS, all the commands you can find it here. See how many services, everything you'll find it here. Okay, let me just, and this is their documentations, their developers documentations, and you have to follow because they keep changing and adding new commands and new options. Okay, so you have to follow this extensively. Now let me just copy this and give to you. Okay, got it. Now what I was showing you for EC2. Okay, just go to the EC2 sections here, right? EC2 here, click on this EC2, you'll find all of the options here. See how many available commands, these are all available commands. Suppose your requirement is to view the instances, so how we can go here, just go down and you can see here some kind of list instances or view instances will be there. Okay, um, okay, here, create keeper, create, delete, and describe host, import, modify. Okay, fine. So how we can do it here, suppose I want to simple example, let me show you, associate one address or just describe, where is the describe section, CDE, these are all delete. Okay, describe. So if you want to here, see, suppose you have to describe any availability zone, or if you want to describe any addresses or anything, suppose you want to describe any availability zone, so what you have to do, just click on this and you'll find the exact commands what you have to use. See, these are the synopsis of that. So you have to use this describe availability zones, just give it. Suppose you are using, just copy this command because you will not remember, right? So you have to use that documentation, just copy this because you are going to automate it, right? We are going to write in a script, so you have to follow this documentation, get the command whatever you want, put it into the command line and use it. So suppose I need AWS EC2 describe availability zones, and then what you have to use, you have to use the availability zone names. Okay, so availability zone name, suppose I give hyphen zone, right? What was that? Zone names, hyphen zone names. And so what is the, suppose I remember, suppose one zone name, that is AP hyphen south hyphen 1A. This is one zone which I want to describe. Okay, describe availability zones. So if you hit enter, see, it describes the availability zones of this, and this is the command you have to use. So definitely guys, it will be a big one to remember, and you cannot remember thousands of commands. So obviously you have to follow this documentation, and they have explained everything here. See, everything they have explained it, and I think it's very simple to use the one. Okay, and if you want to see simple without using any options, it will display all the availability zones. Here I specify only 1A, but we have 1B, 1C as well, right? If you don't give and specify any zone name, hit enter, it will display you all the availability zones. See, it displays you 1A, 1B, 1C. Okay, and your zone ID also, state available, available, and available. Everything is given here. Similarly, if you want to use anything else, right, any other commands to delete a VPC or to describe images, any image you want to get the descriptions, you can get it here. Or you want to describe any route table or region, anything you can find it here. Describe a volumes, if you have a volume you want to describe it, and you may need something to use that one, right? And you can use this one this way to find it out. Now what I'm going to do here, let me simply do something here. I'm just trying it, let me see whether it is working or not. Is it to ls, got it. So see guys, if I give here ls, it did not find anything, so it gave me the help. So first, if you want to get any help through this, just simply type clear ec2 help. It will give all the commands related to the ec2 with the help. Okay, and you don't have to go to the documentation to do that. See, it's kind of Unix man page, it's kind of Unix man page. See, everything available commands, all these commands. See, there are hundreds of commands for ec2 alone, and there are hundreds of services. Think about how many commands you have to work on, okay, if you are doing any automations. So let me show you something else for S3, and I'm going to do something the automations way. I have written one small automations. Guys, so far everything is clear, or any doubt, please let me know before I move forward to the automations and show you the script how we can write it. Let me know if you have any doubt.
We can proceed.
Okay, so it is very simple guys. You have to first install AWSCLI using that installation page, and then you have to configure it. I showed you how to configure it. If not, if there is in documentation, the configuration page is also there, you can find it out. It's simple command AWS configure, you'll configure it. Once you configure it, you can access using the AWS commands. Okay, any commands, whatever reference I gave you, just follow this reference documentations. Okay, AWS command line reference, you'll find it everything. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you the automations where you can use it. So let me give you one requirement. My requirement is, suppose my requirement is, I have one SQL database or Oracle database. I want the records or data to be backed up particular time and can be stored into the S3 bucket. So I am going to make my S3 bucket as my storage and backup stuff, right? Whatever the backups and storage, I want to use the S3 bucket. So how we can do that? First thing is we are going to take a dump of the Oracle database, Oracle dump or SQL dump or MySQL dump, whatever it is. We are going to take a backup for your database. Once you take the backup of your database, you have to download the entire backup files to your local machines where your AWSCLI is installed, and from there you are going to put it into the S3 bucket. Got it? So let's see how we can do that. Okay. So I have one automations. Let me show you just. Okay. So okay, fine. Nothing is there. Okay, guys. So this is my actually my one company's automations, whatever I had done to automate my company. So that is the real production automation command I'm showing you. Okay. So here actually I have given see, it's simple. Actually I have written a small script where I have used SSH command to connect and take MySQL dump of my database, MySQL dump of my database. Okay, and this is the user ID and password of my server mbaquatech.com is which is our company, and I have taken the backup of the database which is running on this server. Okay, so once I took this backup, what is happening, what I'm doing, I'm just backup is done, then I'm copying this file, copy the DOM from MB server to this local machines. Okay, to this server. Okay, just I'm copying it. After that, what I'm doing, deleting this DOM file from the MB server, and then what I'm going to do, using this AWS S3 CP. Okay, so if we go here, okay, so you can see here the copy objects, right? You can see here the copy objects, AWS S3 CP, simple Linux commands whatever you are using, but you should understand what AWS and what service you are going to use, and then the commands CP and then source and then target. Okay, so here whatever I have written here, sorry, what is that? Yeah, here I have just copying this file from these locations, this the entire path the file to the bucket. So I have given the bucket using S3. Okay, and then the rest of the things is simple commands, but I have used this as to bucket. This is simple automations. So I just showed you how you can do your requirement. First you need to understand your requirement, then you have to put everything in one shell script and you can make your automations. Okay, now let me show you one thing. If I do AWS S3, I have one thing here, right? So I want to copy the test.txt file which is in my desktop. I believe it will be there in my desktop. So no, I deleted today morning. Let me get it from the okay bin. So put back. So I got my test.txt file in my desktop. Suppose I just want to copy this file to the bucket, and I'll show you some good things, and you'll just remember what you have to do. You guys remember last class when we are putting the files, we are getting every time we have to give public access to access the file. But in case of automations, how we can achieve that, right? That is the very important thing. Okay, so let's see. Let me copy this to this bucket. Okay, and let me first AWS S3 ls and the bucket name. So I have this test.txt file is already there. Okay, now what I'm going to do it here, suppose let me just get this bucket informations here. Go to this one, the object. I'm getting the object link first. Okay, just don't worry. Suppose the URL. And guys, nobody has asked me actually, have you noticed this URL? Have you noticed this URL? How this URL being formed? That's very important to understand. See, here if you see the URL actually, let me just ping it here. Okay, so if you see it here, this DevOps weekend batch demo is the bucket name. How the URL is being formed, that's what I am explaining you. This is the bucket name, and this is the service S3, and this is the region where the bucket is situated, and this is Amazon AWS, the company Amazon .com. Then this is your entire URL, and then we are providing the object name. Got it? So tomorrow, if you know the bucket name and if you don't know how the URL to make, you can make it in this way. First, you have to give the bucket name s3.s3. The region where the bucket is available, and then Amazon AWS.com. Okay, then the object name. So if I hit enter, I can find the object here. Let me upload the file and see what is happening. Okay, so I'll quickly open this file and edit something here. Suppose fifth line for AWSCLI demo. Saved it. Okay, now what I'm going to do it here, let me go to my desktop. Okay, yes, okay, this is the file is there, and I want to upload it. So what is the command I have to write? AWS S3 cp the object test.txt, and then you have to give S3 colon / and then bucket name. So what is this bucket name? This is the bucket name. Okay, to this bucket I am going to copy the file. Hit enter. See what it says, it uploaded the file to the bucket. Okay, now if I go and refresh it here, so it gives me access denied because it made again it to private. In console, while uploading, we are selecting make granting access, public access, and then uploading the file. So it was displaying in the browser. But now what happened? It messed up and it just removed the public access. How we can fix it up? That is one options called, if you go here, okay, and that options you can find it here in this AWS. See, CP target and hyphen options. So what these options are, you can find these options. Okay, here I think the option list are not there, but if I go to this link AWS and go to the S3, okay, go to the S3. Where is S3? Go to the, you can do control F and search. That's a better way to do. Control F and search. Control F and search it, and you'll find it. So S3. Okay, so just click on this S3, and you'll find the see CP commands here. Okay, and suppose CP. See, all synapses, all options, you'll find it here. Okay, what option you are going to use it. Now my thing is I have to provide the access control list to read value. So what is that access control list? You can find it here, SCL hyphen SCL. So I can get this hyphen SCL. Okay, now what I can do it here, instead of sending it like that, what I can do, I can put it hyphen ACL, give value as read, hyphen ACL read. Hit enter. Okay. So what is gives? It gives not read. It gives public read. Hyphen ACL public read. So I have to give as public hyphen read. Public hyphen read. Okay. So this is how you have to do that. Now hit enter. See, it is uploaded the file. Now if I go here and refresh this, see the fifth line for AWS demo. So this is the command you have to use in your programs to use to and upload the files. So next time it will not revoke the public access. Okay, it will give you the public access. You have to use hyphen ACL public read. Okay, and again you can use AWS S3, CP, and health. It will give you the all options related to the CP command. See, okay. Now, guys, hope everything is clear. So, if you have any doubt, please let me know so we can discuss further. And this is a task for you. So, do practice. Write down few services which you want to automate. Write down few services which you want to automate and use these commands to find it out the services and find it out the details and use it. How we can do that? Just follow this documentation, whatever I have pinged you. That two documentations you need to put it in your details. Okay. Okay. Now, if you have any doubt, we can discuss, or else we can wind up this call for today, and we'll connect next week. And the task, whatever I'm just giving you, at least next class, do small scripts and show me some kind of commands you have written by your own, whatever it is, that does not matter, but show me something what you have worked on this AWS S3. If you are interested in doing automations, just do it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys, do you have any doubt on this AWS CLI we'll discuss, or I think it's very crystal clear. So if you have any doubt, we can discuss. Yeah.
Ranjit, this configuration and installs, do we need to install any specific path in our local computer?
In your local
Like
computer, anywhere, if you want to do it in the AWS EC2 instances, you can do that also. In the EC2 instances, if you want to do, you can do that one. So what you can do, you can just create one EC2 Linux machines or Windows machines, whatever it is, just follow the installation page and install it. That will work. Also, you can install in your personal Windows machines. That is one options, right? Installations for Windows, right? So you can just install for Windows. So if I go for Windows, it will be there. You will be downloading one bundle, and that bundle you have to just see MSI. One MSI you will get it, and just double click it, and it will be installed automatically for you. It's very simple for a Windows. Just download this MSI file and click it. It will be installed for you. Okay, and then you can see the versions. For Linux, you have to type few commands. As I showed you, you have to type few commands to install it. I would suggest you to install in your local laptop, because you don't have to log into the console and switch on the server and then install that, and next time when you are going to automate something, again you have to go there and use that server, right? Don't use that one. You do in and install in your laptop. It will take very little memory on your, very little space on your laptop. Don't get scared. Okay. You'll get here. So you'll get it installed on your laptop, whether it is Windows or Linux or Mac.
So,
Install it.
so for Windows only one step, or is there
For Windows
many
only
steps?
for Windows it's only one step. Just download it. Okay, just download it and install it. That's all. Once you download it, it will be installed. Download and you can just double click it and it will be installed, right? So you can do it. I think it is you have to just execute this command misexec.exe and the path, and it will be installed for you. It will be downloaded and installed for you. If it is not installed automatically, you can just double click that MSI and then it will be installed.
Okay, okay, then.
Yeah,
We'll try both options.
yeah.
False both.
Try both Unix, both Linux, and both Windows. You just try it, but try to do in your local laptop, because when I did the AWSCLI lab, I did not log into the console to show you, right? I can directly open my terminal. I don't have to log into the AWS console. If I have something to fetch from the AWS services, I can easily go here and can find it out. That is the one thing. Other thing is purely for automations. You can write any script, shell script, any batch script or PowerShell. You can put it all this and make your things done. Okay. Okay, guys. So we'll meet up on Saturday, same time. Okay.